Hello, and welcome to BBC School Report. And the news story today begins with a question. Is Shakespeare relevant today? The BBC School Report radio team asked of various people.
Do you think Shakespeare would like to be celebrated today, and why?
I think he would, yes. I think he was probably very proud of his of the plays he wrote. So I think he would enjoy his work still being celebrated today, yeah.
What does Shakespeare mean to you?
Oh dear. Going to watch plays, going to watch schoolboys perform plays, little hidden messages within his plays that you can still use today to teach children about morals and messages and how to behave, character. I think they're all in there within his plays.
And what do you think his most famous play is?
I think Macbeth is probably his most famous play. But the one I like the most is Midsummer Night's Dream.
And do you know any quotes?
I know the one from Macbeth, when shall we three meet again? I also know thou doth protest too much. I quite like that one, and I use that one myself sometimes.
Okay, thank you for your time.
What they thought. One of the team had been going around doing research on Shakespeare's life and how he became the worldwide sensation he is today. Toby McChrystal's report was definitely very thorough.
William Shakespeare. He is one of the world's most famous writers. He was born in Stratford-upon-Avon in England. He was born in 1564 and died April 23rd, 1616. At the age of 18, he married the 26-year-old Anne Hathaway. The longest play he wrote was called Hamlet. The shortest play he wrote was called Comedy of Errors. He was probably the world's most famous British person ever. My favourite Shakespeare play that he wrote is The Tempest. I like this play because I like all the different characters in it. My favourite character is Prospero because he was resilient to how he got kicked off the throne. Prospero is very clever because he made his own spells whilst looking after his daughter on the island. The character who I don't like as much is Caliban. I don't like Caliban because he is always threatening Prospero, saying things like, I'll blister you all over, and he also wants a red plague on him. I think we study The Tempest at school because it broadens our view of the world, and Shakespeare can be a massive inspiration to many people. Also, Shakespeare helps people adopt skills like analysing poems and plays. Also, writing reviews can be learned from Shakespeare.
Next we spoke to two of Newcastle School for Boys sixth formers, who had considerable knowledge of the bard.
Okay, so James, how much do you know about Shakespeare?
Quite a lot, because we've studied a lot of plays over the years until GCSE when I dropped literature.
So, do you know what his first name is?
William.
Can you name some of his famous quotes?
Yeah, to be or not to be, what light through yonder window breaks, brave new world, the isle is full of sweet airs and music that can give delight heard not.
Can you name like three of his plays?
Othello, Taming of the Shrew, The Tempest, Twelfth Night, Midsummer Night's Dream.
Do you know what type of genres the plays he wrote were?
Histories, comedies, tragedies, obviously, ones that weren't as clear, which were called romances, and problem plays where it never really resolved.
Have you ever used the words or phrases swag, knock knock who's there, critic, gossip and advertising?
Yeah.
Did you know that all of them were invented by Shakespeare?
No, but I did know that he had the language, words like green-eyed monster phrases, and also words like bum he invented.
So what do you think he's most famous for?
Probably Romeo and Juliet.
And do you think he's still relevant today?
Oh, definitely. I think we still will use the words that he created, and we appreciate the stories he tells, and obviously he's known as probably the greatest English writer ever to have lived, so he's very important still.
Okay, thank you, James. Thank you. How much do you think you know about Shakespeare?
Not much.
So, do you know what his first name is?
William.
Can you name a famous quote?
Right, okay. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo?
Can you name three of his plays?
The Tempest, Midsummer Night's Dream, and Romeo and Juliet.
Do you know what type of plays he wrote?
Tragedies, romances, and comedies.
So, have you ever used any of the words or phrases swag, knock knock who's there, critic, gossip, or advertising?
Unfortunately, I've used swag, yeah.
Did you know that all of them were invented by Shakespeare?
No, I did not.
So what do you think he's most famous for?
His plays and defining English literal history.
So do you think he's still relevant today?
Nah. Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah. Well, yeah, the Globe's still going. His plays play a significant impact in English society. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Thank you, Nero.
Is that it?
Shakespeare's influence is not just here in Great Britain. His writing stretches as far as China, where we spoke to Tony Wan, who explained how studying Shakespeare differs from the Western countries.
Shakespeare is a very famous person in the world. He's also famous in China. His plays are translated into modern Mandarin. The most popular play in China is Hamlet. In China, we don't study Shakespeare in junior and senior school, but we study him in university.
So, to many people, Shakespeare is still relevant in the world today, but will it last? BBC School Report Radio, reporting from Newcastle School for Boys.